On November 22, 1963, the world came to a halt upon receiving the news of the assassination of the President of the United States, John F. Kennedy. The event marked not only the end of an era but also the beginning of decades of speculation and investigation. Since then, the JFK case has become one of the greatest mysteries of modern history, fueling conspiracy theories and heated debates. The official investigation, conducted by the Warren Commission, concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone in assassinating Kennedy. However, inconsistencies in the official narrative and documents kept secret for decades created fertile ground for doubts. Starting in 1992, thousands of pages of files related to the case began to be released to the public, revealing intriguing details. These documents, known as the JFK files, brought to light previously undisclosed information but also left many questions unanswered. This video will delve into these archives to explore what is true and what is mere speculation. Over the next few minutes, we will analyze documented facts, the most popular theories, and the available evidence. Our goal is to understand whether we are dealing with conspiracy theories or facts that still need to be fully understood. Get ready for a fascinating journey through the JFK case. By the end of this video, you will have a comprehensive view of the subject and can decide for yourself. Are these just conspiracy theories, or is there evidence that has yet to be revealed? Now, let's begin our investigation. Following Kennedy's assassination, the U.S. government established the Warren Commission to investigate the crime. Led by Supreme Court Chief Justice Earl Warren, the commission concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone in firing 3 shots at the president. This version was widely publicized as the official narrative, but it generated distrust among experts and the public from the outset. The investigation was criticized for its haste and lack of depth in certain areas. For example, the famous Zapruder film, which captured the exact moment of the assassination, showed inconsistencies that were never fully explained. Additionally, witnesses reported hearing shots coming from different directions, contradicting the lone gunman theory. These discrepancies raised doubts about the validity of the official conclusion. Another controversial point was the lack of transparency regarding the methods used by the commission. Many documents and reports were kept secret for decades, sparking speculation about what had truly been discovered. This fueled the suspicion that important information was being hidden from the public. The Kennedy family itself expressed doubts about the final conclusion of the investigation. Over the years, the official version faced growing criticism. Independent historians and researchers pointed out flaws in the ballistic analysis and crime reconstruction. Moreover, Oswald's behavior before and after the assassination raised questions about his true motivations. Despite attempts to clarify these gaps, the official story continued to be contested by many. Today, the Warren Commission is seen as a historic milestone but also as an example of how a lack of transparency can breed distrust. Although it provided an official response, it left many questions unanswered. For many, this ambiguity was the starting point for countless conspiracy theories that emerged in the following decades. To understand the impact of the Warren Commission, it is important to recognize that it shaped how the public perceives the JFK case. Even after decades, the investigation continues to be questioned, reflecting the complexity and mystery surrounding Kennedy's assassination. Its conclusions remain at the center of the debate on the case. From the moment of the assassination, several theories emerged questioning the official version of the JFK case. One of the most popular suggests that the CIA was dissatisfied with Kennedy's policies, especially his reluctance to support operations like the Bay of Pigs invasion. According to this theory, the agency orchestrated the assassination to protect its geopolitical interests and eliminate a president considered weak. Another line of thought points to the FBI and even the Mafia as possible culprits. J. Edgar Hoover, director of the FBI, had a complicated relationship with Kennedy and may have had reasons to want his removal. Meanwhile, the Mafia, facing federal investigations under the Kennedy administration, may have seen the assassination as a form of revenge. These theories are based on obscure connections between organized crime and government figures. The Cold War also played a significant role in conspiracy theories. Some believe that the Soviet Union or Cuba could have planned the assassination as retaliation for the tensions of the 1962 missile crisis. These hypotheses gained strength due to the complex international relations of the time and Kennedy's position as the leader of a global superpower. One of the most well-known theories is that of the second shooter, positioned on the grassy knoll. Witnesses claim to have heard shots coming from that direction, contradicting the idea that Oswald acted alone. The Zapruder film was used as evidence to support this theory, as it showed movements of Kennedy's body that seemed to indicate shots fired from the front. Although none of these theories have been proven, they continue to fascinate the public. The mix of politics, espionage, and personal tragedy creates a perfect scenario for speculation. For many, the inconsistencies in the official investigation are enough to justify the search for alternative answers. Conspiracy theories about the JFK case are more than mere speculation. They reflect public distrust of government institutions and the thirst for hidden truths. Even without concrete evidence, these theories continue to shape public perception of Kennedy's assassination. In 1992, the U.S. Congress passed the President John F. Kennedy Assassination Records Act. This legislation required that all documents related to the assassination be declassified and made available to the public by 2017. Since then, thousands of pages of files have been released, revealing surprising details about the case. However, part of these documents remains classified. The files revealed significant inconsistencies in the initial investigation. For example, records showed that key evidence was tampered with or lost during collection. Additionally, there were failures in ballistic analysis and the interpretation of testimonies. These findings reinforced criticisms of the Warren Commission and increased public distrust of the official version. Another intriguing aspect of the files was the revelation of links between Lee Harvey Oswald and intelligence agencies. Documents suggest that Oswald had contact with KGB and CIA agents, though there is no concrete proof that he was an active agent. These connections raised questions about Oswald's role in the assassination and who might have been behind it. Some documents exposed the monitoring of political figures close to Kennedy. For example, the FBI kept surveillance on activists and allies of the president, raising suspicions about possible internal motivations for the assassination. These revelations added a new layer of complexity to the case and fueled new theories. Despite the disclosures, part of the files remains classified, fueling speculation about what might be hidden. Official reasons include concerns about national security and the protection of confidential sources. However, for many, this is seen as an attempt to conceal sensitive information that could forever change the official history. The JFK files are a reminder of the importance of government transparency. They show how a lack of access to information can breed distrust and perpetuate conspiracy theories. Even with the release of thousands of documents, many questions remain unanswered, keeping the JFK case as one of the greatest mysteries of modern history. Lee Harvey Oswald was identified by the Warren Commission as the assassin of John F. Kennedy, but his figure has always been shrouded in mystery. He worked at the Texas School Book Depository from where the shots were fired, and was arrested shortly after the crime. However, his actions before and after the assassination raised doubts about whether he acted alone or was part of something larger. Before the assassination, Oswald had attempted to move to the Soviet Union, where he lived a marginal life until returning to the U.S. This connection to the communist bloc fueled speculation that he might have been a double agent or manipulated by external forces. Released documents suggest that he had contact with suspicious figures, but nothing was proven. Another intriguing point is Oswald's behavior after the crime. He quickly fled the scene and killed police officer J.D. Tippit hours later. This brutal act reinforced the official narrative that he was unstable and dangerous, but also spawned theories that he was being used as a scapegoat in a larger conspiracy. Some researchers argue that Oswald did not have sufficient skills to execute the shots with precision. Ballistic analysis showed that the shots were performed by someone trained, raising the possibility that he received help. This hypothesis is supported by records suggesting links between Oswald and intelligence agencies. Despite the evidence against him, Oswald never had the chance to publicly defend himself. He was killed by Jack Ruby 2 days after Kennedy's assassination, an act many consider suspicious. Oswald's death silenced any revelations he might have made, further fueling conspiracy theories. Today, Oswald remains an enigmatic figure in the JFK case. While it is widely accepted that he fired the fatal shots, his motivation and possible involvement in a conspiracy remain uncertain. For many, he is both a guilty party and a piece of a much larger puzzle. Abraham Zapruder's film is one of the most important records of the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Captured by an amateur filmmaker, the video shows the exact moments when Kennedy was struck by the bullets. Despite being crucial evidence, it also fueled intense debates about the number of shooters and the direction of the shots. One of the most controversial scenes in the film is the so-called backward movement of Kennedy's body after the fatal impact. According to some experts, this movement suggests that the shot came from the front, contradicting the theory that Oswald fired from behind. This interpretation strengthened the idea of a second shooter positioned on the grassy knoll. Another intriguing aspect of the film is the sequence of the shots. Some analyses indicate that there was a very short interval between the shots, suggesting that only a highly trained person could have executed them. This raises questions about Oswald's ability, as he had no advanced military experience. The film was also used to reconstruct the crime, but different interpretations produced conflicting results. Some experts claim that the angles and shadows in the video are consistent with the lone gunman theory, while others argue that there are discrepancies too significant to ignore. These disagreements keep the debate alive. Although Zapruder's film is often cited as definitive proof, it is also seen as an enigma. Its clarity and details provide valuable information but also leave room for multiple interpretations. For many, it is both irrefutable evidence and a source of new doubts. The legacy of Zapruder's film goes beyond the JFK case. It symbolizes the importance of visual records in historical investigations but also highlights the limitations of technology at the time. To this day, the video continues to be analyzed by experts and enthusiasts, reflecting the lasting fascination with Kennedy's assassination. During the Cold War, the Soviet Union was seen as a constant threat to the United States. Many believe that Kennedy's assassination may have been a Soviet retaliation for the tensions of the 1962 missile crisis. This theory gained strength due to the complex international relations of the time and Kennedy's position as the leader of a global superpower. Documents released in recent years suggest that Lee Harvey Oswald had contact with KGB agents during his brief stay in the Soviet Union. While there is no concrete evidence that he was an active agent, these connections raised suspicions about his role in the assassination. Some believe he was manipulated or recruited by external forces. Another interesting point is the political moment in which the assassination occurred. Kennedy was attempting to normalize relations with Cuba and pursue peaceful coexistence with the Soviet Union. These policies were seen as threats by conservative sectors both within and outside the U.S., including the Soviet government. The theory of a Soviet connection is also supported by documents showing Moscow's concerns about the assassination. CIA reports indicate that the Soviet Union feared being accused of involvement in the crime, suggesting they were aware of some indirect connection. However, no definitive proof has been found. While the Soviet connection is widely debated, it remains unconfirmed. For many, this theory reflects the paranoia of the Cold War and the tendency to attribute domestic crimes to external forces. Even so, the possibility of Soviet involvement continues to be one of the most intriguing hypotheses about the JFK case. The impact of this theory extends beyond Kennedy's assassination. It reflects the global tensions of the time and how world powers interacted. Even without concrete evidence, the idea of an international conspiracy continues to capture the public's imagination, perpetuating the mystery surrounding the case. The American Mafia was a powerful force in the 1960s, with significant influence in various areas of government and the economy. Under the Kennedy administration, federal investigations intensified, especially against figures like Carlos Marcello, one of the leaders of organized crime. Some believe that Marcello ordered Kennedy's assassination as revenge for the pressures they faced. Kennedy had a complicated relationship with the Mafia. During his presidential campaign, there were rumors that he indirectly received support from figures linked to organized crime, especially through his brother, Robert Kennedy, who led a war against the Mafia as Attorney General. This contradiction fueled speculation about personal motivations. Another intriguing point is the role of Jack Ruby, the man who killed Lee Harvey Oswald. Ruby had connections to the criminal underworld and was known in the casino circuit controlled by the Mafia. His quick and public action raised suspicions that he was trying to silence Oswald to protect greater interests. Some released documents suggest that the Mafia had clear motives for wanting to eliminate Kennedy. In addition to federal investigations, the president had taken steps to reduce the influence of organized crime in strategic sectors. For many, this makes the Mafia one of the main suspects in the JFK case. Although no concrete evidence has emerged, the Mafia theory remains one of the most popular among researchers and enthusiasts. It combines elements of revenge, power, and politics, creating a perfect scenario for speculation. For many, the Mafia symbolizes the dark side of America that may be behind the assassination. Today, the Mafia's influence on the JFK case is seen as a plausible but not definitive hypothesis. Even without conclusive evidence, This theory reflects the complexity of the relationships between organized crime and American institutions during the 1960s. It also serves as a reminder of how deep the impact of hidden forces on politics can be. Lyndon B. Johnson, the vice president at the time, assumed the presidency after Kennedy's death. Some theories suggest that he was involved in the conspiracy to ensure his rise to power. Released documents show that Johnson pushed for the creation of the Warren Commission, raising questions about his true motives. Johnson had a tense relationship with Kennedy and his family. He was seen as an ambitious politician who desired the highest office. Additionally, some records indicate that he was dissatisfied with certain Kennedy policies, especially those related to the Vietnam War and civil rights. This fueled speculation about his possible motivations. Another controversial point is Johnson's behavior after the assassination. He quickly consolidated his power, implementing policies that Kennedy had hesitated to approve. For some, this suggests that he was prepared to take control, raising doubts about his involvement in the crime or cover-up. Documents released in recent years show that Johnson had ties to powerful figures, including businessmen and government members. Some theories suggest that these connections may have been used to orchestrate the assassination. However, no direct evidence has been found to prove this hypothesis. While the Johnson theory is widely debated, it remains unconfirmed. For many, it reflects the paranoia of the time and the tendency to attribute domestic crimes to figures of power. Even so, the possibility of Johnson's involvement continues to be one of the most intriguing hypotheses about the JFK case. Johnson's legacy in the JFK case is complex. He is remembered as both a leader who advanced important reforms and as a figure surrounded by suspicion. Regardless of his participation in the assassination, his rise to power marked the beginning of a new era in American politics. Kennedy's assassination had a profound impact on American culture, marking the end of an era of optimism and introducing an era of distrust in institutions. Films, books, and documentaries explored the case, perpetuating public interest. The event became a symbol of tragedy and mystery. In the years following the assassination, the JFK case inspired numerous artistic works. Films like JFK, directed by Oliver Stone, brought the debate to the mainstream, questioning the official version and exploring conspiracy theories. These productions helped keep the case alive in the collective memory, turning it into a cultural icon. Beyond cinema, the JFK case influenced literature and music. Writers like Norman Mailer and Don DeLillo dedicated works to the theme, exploring the human and political aspects of the assassination. Musicians also drew inspiration from the event, creating songs that reflected the shock and disillusionment of the time. The cultural impact of the case extends beyond the arts. It shaped how the public perceives government institutions and the pursuit of truth. The lack of transparency and inconsistencies in the official investigation led to growing distrust in authorities, something that still resonates today. For many, Kennedy's assassination represents the moment when American innocence was lost. It marked the beginning of an era of skepticism and questioning, where nothing is accepted without proof. This cultural legacy continues to influence discussions about politics, history, and society. Today, the JFK case is more than a historical event. It is a cultural phenomenon. It reflects the tensions and contradictions of a time, as well as humanity's thirst for hidden truths. Even decades later, Kennedy's assassination continues to capture the public's imagination, perpetuating its status as one of the greatest mysteries of modern history. The JFK files continue to be a source of fascination for historians, researchers, and enthusiasts. They represent an attempt to clarify one of the greatest mysteries of history but also highlight the limitations of government transparency. For many, they are a symbol of the struggle for historical truths. Since the release of the documents in 1992, thousands of pages have been analyzed, revealing intriguing details about the case. Some information corroborates the official version, while other details contradict key points of the investigation. This ambiguity fueled new theories and prolonged the debate about the assassination. Another important aspect of the files is what remains classified. Part of the documents was kept secret for reasons of national security, generating speculation about what might be hidden. For many, this lack of full transparency reinforces distrust in government institutions. The files also highlight the complexity of political and international relations at the time. Documents reveal links between key figures in the case and intelligence agencies, as well as possible external interference. These revelations added new layers to the mystery, keeping public interest alive. Although the files answered some questions, many remain unresolved. They serve as a reminder that the search for truth is an ongoing process, especially in cases as complex as JFK's. For many, the documents are both a tool for clarification and a source of new doubts. The legacy of the JFK files goes beyond the case itself. They symbolize the importance of transparency and governmental accountability. Even with thousands of pages released, the JFK case remains an example of how a lack of access to information can perpetuate distrust and speculation. It serves as a warning to future generations about the need to open the archives of history. The JFK case remains one of the greatest enigmas of modern history. Between conspiracy theories and documented facts, Kennedy's assassination continues to divide opinions. The JFK files brought some answers, but many questions remain unanswered. This case serves as a reminder of the importance of transparency and the pursuit of truth. Over the decades, the JFK case has shaped how the public perceives government institutions and history itself. It reflects the political, social, and cultural tensions of a time marked by profound changes. Kennedy's assassination was not just an isolated event but a catalyst for debates about power, conspiracy, and justice. For many, the JFK case is more than a historical mystery. It is a symbol of humanity's struggle for understanding and clarity. It represents the relentless quest for answers in a world full of uncertainties. Even without definitive proof, the case continues to capture the public's imagination, perpetuating its status as one of the most fascinating events in history. Today, JFK's legacy extends beyond his presidency. He is remembered as a visionary leader whose untimely death left a void in American politics. The case of his assassination serves as a reminder that, even in an era of technological advances and global communication, some truths may remain hidden. In the end, the JFK case teaches us that the search for truth is an ongoing process. It challenges us to question official narratives and seek answers beyond appearances. Whatever the final explanation may be, Kennedy's assassination remains a landmark in history, an event that shaped the world and will never be forgotten. We hope this video has helped clarify some aspects of the JFK case and sparked your curiosity about this fascinating chapter of history. Remember, the truth may be hidden, but it should never be abandoned. Keep investigating, questioning, and seeking answers. Until next time.